Hey guys, in this video I'm just going to briefly go over the first two steps of the CFOP method, which is the cross and the F2L. Okay, so in the beginner method what we would do is we would find a white edge and we'd bring it to the top around the yellow centre, like that. And then what we do is we do the remaining four edges, creating a daisy around the top. We don't do that in CFOP. What we do is we insert our edge pieces directly into the bottom around the white centre. Now, Cross and F2L is not one of my strongest points of my solves, so I'm only going to be briefly explaining what to do here. And if you want to look for more advanced videos, just do a search on YouTube. There's plenty of videos about that can help you. This video is just to give you a rough idea of how to go about it. Okay, so looking at this case, what I do is I find here I've got the blue and white, and the orange and white, red and white here. So I bring the red and white up, bring the green down, the orange down, and then a D2 will flick that so that the blue is solved, the orange is solved, the red is still lined up here, and it brings the green underneath. So we're bringing that up like that, that down, and then that down, and that solves our white cross. Looking at this next case here, I can see that the blue is already aligned with the blue centre, the green is at the top. I've got orange and green, orange and white here, and the red and white here. So what I could do with this one is align the green above the green centre. By turning that once, it lines up the red where it needs to go. By bringing the red down, I put the orange into a better position. Flick that across because red and orange are opposites. Bring that down, it keeps the blue aligned. Bring that back, it lines up the orange and the reds. And we see here the blue is still aligned, the green is still aligned, so just a simple... Again, as I said, I'm not the best with the cross and my F2L. This is just to give you a general idea of how it's done. So yeah, if you want to get better with the cross, I suggest you do a search on YouTube. There are plenty of videos about that can help you. Guys are a lot better with the cross and F2L than I am, but that's a general idea of how we do the cross. So step 2 of CFOP is F2L, or the first two layers. So where on the beginner method we pop in the corners one at a time, then we pop in the edges, the second layer. In CFOP we do both layers at the same time. So looking at this one here, again, F2L is perhaps the weakest point of my entire solve, but I'm just going to give you the general idea of how you'd go about. So here looking at green and red edge, and here is the green, red and white corner. What we want to do is we want to get them both in the top layer, and to do that we could simply just bring that one up, bring it out, realign the cross. And now what we want to do is we want to get them into this slot at the same time. Now looking at them on top, both colours match. So what we could do here is hide this one away, making sure this slot here isn't solved if you're going to do this as well. Bring that down by doing R, U2, R prime, and then we can see that they are paired up there. And then to insert it, we can simply rotate the cube, do a U prime, R, U prime, R prime, and that pops it in there. Looking again here, I have got red and blue, and here's the red and blue corner. Again, want to bring them both into the top layer, so to do that, bring this up, realign the cross, and now this time the colours don't match on top. So what we want is, having our white sticker pointing out to the right, we want to have this piece over here. So to do that, we can do an R prime, U, R, and there it is over here where we want it to be. Now do a U prime, and that lines the blue and red above the blue and red centers. And because the colors on top are opposite, if we do R, U, R prime, that inserts it like that. Now looking here is the green and the orange and white corner and the green and orange edge. So bring that into the top layer, and the colors on top are the same. So what we did before, when the colors were on top the same, we wanted this edge here next to it. So this slot here is not solved, so we can do an L, U, L prime, that pairs them up. We can do a U2, we can rotate, R, U prime, R prime. Whoops, that's the wrong slot. There we go. And finally here, these two are together, but that is not paired up correctly how we want to insert that. Colours on top are matching. So bring it over an unsolved slot like this. R, U prime, R prime. And there we go, they are opposite now. So if we do a U2, rotate, L prime, U prime, L. And that is the first two layers. As I said, F2L is not my strongest point of my solve. You can do a search on YouTube, plenty of videos on beginner F2L, advanced F2L, all of that. I'm still learning a lot myself with F2L, but that gives you a basic idea of how to do it. Yeah, so once again, guys, that was just a very brief description of how F2L works. Now, if you are doing the layer by layer method and you are timing yourself, one thing you will notice as you're doing F2L and learning F2L, your times will be a lot slower to begin with. It does take quite a bit longer to pick up F2L than it does doing the beginner method, but trust me, stick with it. Watch lots and lots of videos on F2L, like from lots of different YouTubes, and watch example solves. It's probably the best thing you can do, and just practice, and really take no notice of your times to start off with, because it's going to be slow. F2L does take a long time to get used to. I've been doing F2L a little over a year, and I'm still learning some parts. I've gotten much faster. My times are much faster now than they were on the beginner method, but again, that's taken time to get to that point. So yeah, just keep practicing, guys. I want to give a shout out as well to, let's see if I can pronounce his name correctly, Chris Thames. It was thanks to him, he helped me come up with the name for my channel. I'll put a link in the description to his channel, so you can go and check out his videos and subscribe to him if you like as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Happy cubing.